Something I'm learning is that the craziest days always have the most mundane starts, and I'm starting to resent that a little bit. Today was a normal average day for the first couple hours. I woke up, I streamed, Carcosa Online came out, and we bashed on Nostradamus for a little bit, which, was all in good fun, especially since I did not get my headset, and I am a little mad about that. But after that, I, hopped off stream. I went to get a cup of coffee I ended up being Parker's today, just because, I don't know, it felt like the right vibe, and I'm realizing that the cozy vibes are something that I probably was going to need for the rest of the day. And that's when the day starts being less mundane and more just concerning in general. I ran into two strangers and one not so stranger that I may have had correspondence with on the internet. And we got Thai food. Don't ask me how they ended up convincing me to get Thai food with them. I feel like I heard Thai food and I was like, dope, I love Thai food. I will always use an excuse to eat Thai food like as many times as I can. So I'm not mad about that part. And apparently Nostradamus was doing a PR event at Mopop, and of course I had to go because there are questions about the game that aren't being answered. Smiley was partnered with them to do like a sponsored stream, which was awesome, and I tried calling them and they didn't pick up. And I know the game is supposed to be like immersive and whatever, and I'm not gonna come for someone who gets super into video games, like I'm 100% like that, but it was a little weird, and I had some questions I wanted to ask because of course I had questions I wanted to ask. And of course, Victoria didn't answer any questions at all. The strangest part of the whole event was the cute little or what was supposed to be the cute little orientation kind of intro to the game ended up being scary. Like there were skeletons on the screen and the players did not look like they were having fun. And then it got even weirder because at the end of that little sequence, the total number of players that was on the screen had dropped like a more than significant amount. And then there was other stuff. I broke into Mopop with these strangers. There was a creepy room that I went into that may have had a person in it. But the part that freaked me out the most was that after we left the museum and I saw horrors that I never want to see again, and I don't think I'm ever going to eat like a potato chip ever again. I was watching the news and Victoria made a joke about the game being more immersive than they had anticipated, and that the players are going to need to stay hydrated and be taken care of in the meantime. I don't really want to think about what that could mean, or what that means for the number that dropped on the screen that I saw. But games are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to bring joy. They're supposed to make you feel good. And it doesn't seem like Carcosa Online is doing that. So I guess I'm gonna have to figure it out. So I guess that's today. I'd say hopefully tomorrow is better, but we all know that if tomorrow is better, that means I didn't learn anything, so I'm gonna try to get some sleep and not dream about potatoes. Good night. I hope that you've already figured this out, because we both know that we're a genius, and if anyone can figure it out, it's you. Or me. You know what I mean. Okay, good night.
Hey, Alistair. So, you may have noticed that your other mom is asleep. And we're crashing at Gail's house tonight with a bunch of people you just met. I hope it wasn't too scary when Gale picked you up earlier, but I know you love Gale. You also love to be scratched under the chin. Oh, kitty boy. Oh, the belly. Okay. I'll pet it. But don't tummy trap me. We are having a serious conversation and I've had a really scary day, okay? It seems like Ryan will be asleep for a while. She's playing a video game. You don't know what that means. But she's trapped in it. The game, that is. I was supposed to be there with her, actually, playing together. But I was late. I'm always late to everything. But this might be the most important thing that I've ever been late to. Because if I hadn't been late, she wouldn't be alone in the game right now. Mauve came over to check on Ryan, and while Ryan was fighting skeletons in the game, Mauve and we saw this spooky yellow face in my computer. That's what all the screaming was about. And then Gale came to get you, remember that, and Ryan, I know that maybe she should be in a hospital, but I don't know if it's just that guy got in my head. You know, the guy that smells really terrible and has the hat. I don't know if it's just that guy got in my head or if it's actually dangerous, but I'm afraid of those Nostradamus people getting their hands on Ryan, so she'll stay here with us for now. I punched a dude at the Mopop Museum where Nostradamus had a press release. They wouldn't let us in, so I started a fight. Mauve ran somebody through with a boom mic, and I might have gotten a concussion. But the weirdest part, the people, their heads were like kind of smashed in, I guess. Possibly the scariest thing I've ever seen. Except for Ryan not waking up. Oh, and the face that showed up in my computer. And the ghost in the guitar room. Oh yeah, there was a ghost in the museum. Ghosts are real. I think these people are on our team. Mauve, Guy, Noor. Oh yeah, we just met Noor. But she seems on the level. I mean, she's mad at the same people we are. Anyway. And the enemy of my enemy, you know? Thanks for listening, buddy. And for purring. I appreciate it. Let's get some sleep.
I had a new exhibit to showcase today to the artistic and inquisitive consumers of Seattle. However, not everything goes as planned when my strange acquaintance happens to be in the picture. Guy insists on smoking inside the gallery every time he's here, as if I hadn't told him 100 times over. Anyways, it was then that he told me about Nostradamus and this video game. And usually I entertain him with these discussions, but then he decided to call one of my masterpieces shit. He called it shit art. What a tasteless grump. And after many back and forths about what is art and what isn't art, Fable shows up asking about their payment that is due. Using my charm, I convinced Fable and Guy to lunch as a treat. Food usually succeeds in distracting Fable. And Guy, I'm not sure when and how he feeds himself when I'm not treating him to meals. Oh well. So we're heading over to a nearby Thai place, and then we bump into this adorable woman named Noor, who Guy was immediately interrogating, of course, and I offered food as an apology. Although, while in the restaurant, there were some commotion about the new Carcosa online game, and I couldn't be bothered to pay much attention to that. I had to get back to work, post-lunch break. However, I was asked by Fable to go with her to their place to check out the situation that was happening with her girlfriend, Ryan. Ryan is a lovely person who has a calming presence. I can see why Fable, the hot-wired one, no pun intended, fell for such a woman. Although I only knew this from a few interactions, considering how great I am in reading others, one can trust my perceptions. Now, this is where one might question my retelling of this event, but in their apartment, things started to get spine-chilling. This Carcosa video game sounded like it was all happening right in that closet space, and I heard screams and clashing of weapons. So did Fable. It wasn't just me. For a second, I thought I was on the set of Lord of the Rings 5. Then Fable checks the internet to see maybe if this was happening elsewhere, or if anybody else was going through the same comatose thing that Ryan was going through. But unfortunately, the monitor turned yellow with a strange protruding face, and it blew up. Not a huge explosion, we're fine, but it definitely scared the shit out of us both. Then Guy, who was on the phone after, told us that Nostradamus has something to do with this, and Fable immediately stopped trusting any technology. A little over the top, I know, but once we've reassured that Ryan would be okay for now, we headed over to Mopop, and on the way met a sweet gentleman named Sven, whose grandson was about to get into the video game too. Now, Sven was our driver for this rideshare app. He was a reasonable gentleman who listened to our advice. Well, my advice. I had advised them to stay out of the game, and that many were getting hurt by this new tech. Whatever it was doing, I'm not sure. When we arrived at Mopop, somebody thought it was a great idea to sneak in disguise. We were supposed to be a news channel. Not sure how believable that was. We did have our props and some badges. Had I known we were about to do something probably illegal, I would have tried to get in contact with my supervisor, Xavier. See, he may have known someone at Mopop to get us private access. I mean, he could have. Probably. Near the back entrance, where we were trying to sneak in, we of course got caught. There were 3 security guards who spoke in unison as if it were practiced, or they were maybe possessed. I found it fascinating yet unnerving. Fable and Guy physically tried to push through after Noor had tried and failed to lie to their face, and so I had to help. So I sort of poked one of them with my boom mic and they fell unconscious, and then we got in without any hassle after we checked their pockets for it. After all that effort, I simply needed to catch my breath, so I stepped aside to have a smoke break. You can always count on Guy to have some on him. I don't want to talk about what I saw when I wandered off into that room with a glowing yellow light. I think that will be something I process in my thoughts alone. Until next entry, this has been Mauve.
Greetings, travelers. It's me, Wing of a Gimbal, famous and bad. I am reading from Jury's Journal, The Carcosa Conspiracy, Day 1. If you're reading this, I'm probably dead. Or I decided to release this as part of my memoirs. I imagine there's a film deal involved too. Anyway, I woke up in my usual fashion, annoyed. Something felt off. I wandered into the city and checked out the news. The new video game, Carcosa Online, was having some kind of pre-release event. I was immediately suspicious. It was made worse when I saw people making the game with the Nostradamus Corporation. And worse still, the PR event was being presented by my Victoria Highland at the Mopop Art Museum. I knew I had to go find someone to bother about this as much as I was bothered by it, so I went to see my friend Mauve. I got to Mauve's gallery about the same time as my other friend Fable. We agreed to talk about this Mopop event and went out to go get some Thai food. Along the way we ran into someone I recognized, a streamer by the name of Noor that I had been ribbit pals for a while. Not that they knew me, of course. I politely introduced myself, and she agreed to join us. While we ate, we watched a streamer called Smiley starting up the game. As they logged in, I saw a face in the background from inside Smiley's closet. After that, we split up. Fable headed back to her apartment to check on their partner Ryan, and Mauve following later. Myself and Noor headed to the Mopop Museum to see the Carcosa Online PR event. At the event, Victoria introduced live footage of the game, but things quickly started going badly. The players started panicking as they were being attacked by a mob of skeletons, and the player count dropped from 12,000 to 10,000 in just a few minutes. Even Victoria looked shocked. She wrapped up the event ahead of schedule and went back inside the museum with the other Nostradamus reps. Soon after, Mauve and Fable joined myself and Noor at the event, and we decided we needed to get into this museum to investigate. I needed to talk to Victoria. We disguised ourselves as news crew and made our way back to the entrance in the museum. Waiting for us inside were 3 Nostradamus security guards with covered-up faces. We failed to talk our way inside, but, with Fable taking the lead, we fought our way in. During the fight, Noor pulled the mask off one of the guards, and we saw that their skull was misshapen in a way that can only be described as inhuman, or perhaps potato-like. There's darker things at work here. Note, Mauve was extremely effective in combat. Inside the museum, we found our way to the room where Victoria Highland and the other Nostradamus employees were holed up. Spying through a window and listening in, we learned that those who die in the game likely die in real life. We also learned that Victoria cared more about the PR than she did about those in-game, including Fable's partner Ryan and her son Derek. I stopped Fable from bursting in right away. It could have been bad, and I never could condone such recklessness. So we split up to look around the museum. I doubled back alone and went straight to see Victoria. I figured, well, she's no saint. She was in over her head, so I offered to help her out. I barely had to use any blackmail to get her on our side. After I regrouped with the others, we decided it was best to make a swift exit. We headed out and went back to the bar to try to lose anyone who might be following us. After my fourth or fifth drink, things got a bit hazy, though I woke up in my usual fashion. This has been Jury's Journal, the Carcosa Conspiracy, Day 1.
Pulling out a journal, Victoria begins to scrawl hastily on the paper. Release day. It's release day. Just like any other big day, you've done this before. You're Steel. Questions will follow the same format they always do. And things will probably not go how anticipated, like they always do. At this rate, I'm afraid I'll never have an early morning to myself again, but if that's what it takes to be free of this project, or at the very least get it out the door, so be it. Of course, that's not accounting for the follow-up promos and the interviews, any bugs, and the involvement of the individuals outside of Nostradamus I have to corral. It's going to be a day, but in PR, it always is. Some time has passed since Victoria's self-pep talk. Her demeanor has since notably changed. Stray hairs hang around her face, bags sit under her eyes. Most unusual for the calm and collected Victoria Hyland. The hollow monitor in front of her face gives off a soft glow. The images on the screen hurriedly cycling backwards before pausing again. Yes, that's right. There will be a PR event today at Mopop following the highly anticipated release of Carcosa Online. Come enjoy an exclusive seat as the game goes live, and we get a glimpse of the virtual world guaranteed to fill you all with whimsy. Truly, I'm looking forward to it. Utilizing the hands-free function of the holo monitors, Victoria swipes 2 fingers to the left. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us here. We will momentarily cast an in-game stream for you all on the projector ahead. Exciting, right? Please enjoy as the newest players of Carcosa partake in a welcoming festival in-game. The screen activates as the crowd cheers, and sounds begin to ring out from the large speakers. First, music fills the air, then something else. Screams. Skeletons on the screen start clawing and emerging their way from beneath the earth. It all slips into utter chaos. The UI on the game screen falters, and a notable dip of players is visible before cutting out. Victoria winces. Next clip. Miss Hyland, please, was this the anticipated outcome of the initial release? This new game is quite violent right out of the gate if so. Indeed, for a fun summer game, this seems quite intense. Next clip. The security footage. Another problem I don't need. Those 4 who came prancing into Mopop, poking their noses where they don't belong, and him. Victoria's eyes hone in on Guy, whom she's already acquainted with, unlike the other 3. And to ask for a job? He doesn't even know half of it. But he always did like danger. She glances down at the slug in the Tupperware, sitting on the desk, and gives it a piece of lettuce from her untouched veggie wrap. Then side-eyes the large wall of footage monitoring each individual Mopop room, trying to ignore the things that weren't there before. Next clip, please. Victoria, over here. There are rumors being circulated that folks are unable to log out of their games. Can you please give us some more insight on this? While our game may be a bit more immersive than anticipated, we are working swiftly to correct any bugs that may be causing this issue. Thank you for your patience. The screen goes dark. The phone rings. Rev, things have gone rogue. I think we'll be needing your assistance after all. Oh, Vic, look at you. Do not call me that. Oh, goodness. You know it's just a fun little nickname. Although I never thought you'd actually reach out. I'll be in touch. Yes, well, you do owe me. Her mind begins to drift, staring down at the words scrawled in front of her. Release day.